Today we are talking about how you can transform, how you can change, how you can increase your power to influence others and yourself. Hello my love, it's Rachel here, and today we are talking about the Muse archetype, the Muse energy. It is a very specific feminine energy, right? That I've been working with this energy for the past 11 years, and I've been guiding other women to do the same. It is about relationships, our relationships. So I think you already heard that the most important thing in our lives are our relationships, and I understand that, and I believe in that as well. I agree with that. So there's that say like the quality of your life is defined by the quality of your relationships. I agree with that, but there are some nuances there that we are going to discuss in another video. I want to bring the 3 levels of relationship, because that is going to bring that's going to allow us to create a structure around the relationships and create some kind of clarity so that we can understand the energy that we are going to put in these levels and what to expect to get back. Okay, so when it comes to our relationships, we are going to influence and be influenced by others and ourselves. That's not a matter of choice. So it's not something like, I want it, I don't want it or not. You're going to be influenced, you're going to influence others. The difference is if you're going to be aware of that or not. And I believe that if we have the choice, we should always try to be aware of things that we are doing in life as much as we can, right? So when we think about influencing others and ourselves, we can think about 2 major ways that we do that. So one of them would be a more masculine way, which is convincing, right? It's more active, it's more about what we do, about to do something, to say something, to take something from others, to threaten, whatever, right? And the second one is the more the feminine way. The feminine way would be about inspiring. It would be more passive. It would be about to be. None of them is good or bad per se. It depends on the way we approach, because we do both of them. We are going to do throughout our life. So we have the masculine, convincing, active, to do. The feminine, inspiring, passive, to be. At first sight, you may say, okay, the masculine way is easier. You just go there and you do something, because it's much easier to do something than to be something. In order to be something, it demands some kind of transformation. Sometimes it's proactive, right? So the masculine way, yes, in the beginning it is easier just to go and do something. So I can go in front of you and act like if I was super confident. I'm not, and convince you that I'm confident, but deep down I'm not, right? What happens is that after a while, if you only rely on this masculine way, it's going to get exhausting. And I want to share with you 3 reasons why it can get really exhausting relying only on the masculine way. So the first reason is because you have to push too much. You have to force. And that gets exhausting. You get tired of that, right? So that's it. That's the first reason. The second reason is because it can create some karmic ties with people, some unwanted karmic ties, right? Because there is a very thin line between convincing and manipulating. So even others and ourselves as well. So that's something that we have to keep in mind and think carefully, because sometimes of course, you can do something, you can convince people of things that you know they need, and you know that it will be good for them, but maybe you are stepping over their free will and their divine timing. It's not for us to decide, right? What is the best for others? We can give them options, we can give them guidance if they ask us, but it's up to them to decide. And the third one is going to be that pushing too much, trying too hard, it can harm your self-esteem, because you'll be there forcing and doing everything, and then in the end maybe the person is just going to say, no, I'm not interested, no, that's not for me, and then you can start feeling, okay, they don't listen to me. They don't care about me. So my opinion worth doesn't worth anything. And you start questioning your self-worth as well. The feminine way, which is connected to the muse, it can feel like easier as well, because it's passive. I don't have to do anything. But actually it is, well, it demands more work, because it is about to be something. It is about to look at yourself. And that's always harder, right? It's always more challenging, but the results, they are always fulfilling, they're always beautiful. So it may take more time and patience together, but I'm going to tell you, it's worth it. And if you stop to think, every time you're trying to convince people of whatever, even about a way that we want them to treat us, when we are trying too hard to convince people, it's usually because we are trying to take from others what we are not giving ourselves, what we are not doing. And that was an important lesson in my life. You know, before going through life expecting to be respected, expecting to be seen, expected to be valued, okay, what if I start doing that first? Seeing myself, respecting myself, valuing myself. And I've noticed that when I started doing that, I don't care if you respect me. I don't care if you value me, if you give me some value, you know, if you think that I'm worthy. Or you do, and if you don't, I just take my beautiful purse and leave the room. And that's it, right? Because in the end of the day, we'll never force others to be anything, and believe me, you don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. So working with the muse is about removing this power from others and this attention from others, and bringing this attention towards me, towards my inner world. So working with the muse is about increasing, cultivating our ability to inspire. What happens here is that we are used to look for inspiration outside ourselves. We were not taught to look for inspiration inside ourselves. Our moms, they were not taught to do that, because, oh, it's selfish, it's arrogant, it's sin, or it's simply ugly, right? Nice people, good people, they don't look for inspiration. You must be humble. You must be humble. Now, it feeds a narrative of low self-worth, of low self-esteem, when we are not even able to see what is inspiring inside ourselves. That's a little sad, because every time we cannot find something inside ourselves, we are going to go and look for that outside to fulfill that emptiness, because all of us, we have some emptiness inside us. And when we go here trying to find that outside us, we are going to have a temporary fulfillment, and more than that, that thing that fulfills this emptiness is going to control us. That's something to be aware of. That's why I truly believe that we have this emptiness, and the only thing that is able to fulfill that emptiness is ourselves, yes, but it is the divine energy. Nothing else can fulfill inside of us. No other people. Other people cannot do that. They have their own emptiness that they are working on. We can share, but not expect them to fulfill our emptiness. Things, substances, nothing of that is going to give us a lasting fulfillment. Now, when it comes to work with the muse, she has some invites. She invites us. She doesn't impose. She doesn't just show up and that's it. No. Now, I started working with the muse when I was introduced to this archetype and energy back in 2015. Right? So my mentor taught me about working with the muse, and I started working with this archetype and energy, working my own life and guiding other women in this work as well. And over the years, I started creating my own relationship and understanding of the muse. And that's what I'm sharing with you here today in this video, right? Because as I'm telling you, sometimes people can think about muse, something that just inspires others, not about themselves. I see the idea of the muse as first and foremost inspiring ourselves. Finding inspiration in our own story, in our own lives, and inside ourselves. So there we can dare to inspire others. And there we can be inspired from a place of exchanging, not so much about taking and trying to fulfill that emptiness with another person. And not only looking, oh, I admire that so much, that's great, and I do nothing about that. Right? We know that when we admire something in others, it means that we have that fire inside of us, and that's what the muse helps us to ignite. So the muse is going to give us some invitations. So the first one is she invites us to investigate. So ask yourself, what really inspires me? Look at people outside that are used to get inspired by. What inspired me in that person? And then you go under the surface. Where can I find the same quality inside me? And if I cannot find that inside of me yet, how can I start cultivating that, behavior, attitude, that quality, whatever? How can I start cultivating that inside of me? If I look at my life, at my story, can I find moments when I was like that? Right? So it is about searching my own story. So it is about investigating and getting curious about that. The second one is dare to receive, right? Receive help, receive attention, receive a compliment. Like, for example, when I started sharing about spirituality back in 2014, I started sharing on YouTube about spirituality. People would come and say, oh, Rachel, you're light. Oh my God, you're so helpful. Oh, you're so wise. Oh, you're this and that. And that I didn't like that. I didn't like that. And I remember telling my mentor, I said, I'm not that. I'm a normal person sharing a wisdom something that I learned, something that I've been living. That's it. I don't want them to see me like that. And he said, when you stop people from complimenting you, you are stopping them from being co-creators. It can be so hard to receive a compliment that we go and say, oh, no. Oh, I love your top. Oh, no, it's super cheap, it's old. Oh, your hair looks so, oh no, it's dirty. We always do something like that, or we feel bad. And the truth is, when a person is giving you a help as well, attention, but we are talking here as an example, compliment from their hearts, they are being co-creators. It's wonderful to compliment somebody. And then if you see like the person is making a compliment and you say, oh, no, you can see the person's light like diamond, like they get like, no, if somebody's giving you a compliment, just say, thank you so much. You're so thoughtful. You're so kind, right? Thank you so much. We are here in this world, my dear, to receive, yes, but we are here to learn, to share. And when people are helping us, are giving us something, when we receive something, we are allowing them to share. We are allowing them to be co-creators, to be who they really are, to share their light with us, because that's what they are doing. They're sharing their light with us. And something that is interesting about sharing and receiving, when you think about some ancient wisdom, universal wisdom like Kabbalah, for example, it's going to teach us that receiving with a specific consciousness can be an elevated way of sharing. So when you are allowing the person to share with you, when you are receiving, you are sharing as well, because you are allowing them to share. It's something very deep, but something very powerful. So we are going to allow to receive, not because, oh, I don't deserve that, I have problems with my sense of self-worth. No, but I'm allowing that person to be a giver, to be a co-creator, to be light in my life as well. And the third invitation is do the self-work. There's something irresistible in people that are doing their self-work, right? We like to be around them. We like to hear from them. We like to share stories with them. Sometimes they give us sometimes just one word can give meaning to what we are living. We love being around these people. And doing this self-work is asking ourselves, how can I become a person that I can admire? How can I become a person that I'm proud of? And when I started doing that in my life, I started seeing things that I used to do that I would not feel proud, that I would not be proud of myself after that. So I had some things with, I was a little angry, for example. And it was not something, that's another video that I think a lot about sharing with you, about the thing behind anger. Like, it was not something that after I would feel like, oh, relieved. No, I would feel not well, because that was not who I was. So we have to see in our lives, where am I doing things that are not aligned with who I am, and how can I do the self-work on that? With love, with self-love, with self-compassion, but do the work, because that's why we are here, right? We are here to understand ourselves, not to understand the world, not to understand others, but to understand ourselves, and to do the work. And the work is to be who we truly are. Now, the work with the Muse is more about a consciousness, about the way we see the Muse, the way we look at our lives, right? And I do like to work as well with some decks, and I've been working with some decks to work with my beautiful Muse archetype, Muse energy. And if you see which decks I've been using, check this video here, because I've been working with her a lot this month, right? Thank you so much for being here, my dear, and I see you in the next one. Sending you lots of love.